prices. This is a president who now has an election year conversion. Now he wants to bring gas prices down. Well, the place to start is by firing those 3 people that he hired in the first place. And the place to finish is getting rid of him and putting in place someone who understands what it takes to get energy out of our own ground.
It's the political cure-all for high gasoline prices. Drill here, drill now. But a comprehensive study conducted by the Associated Press reveals increased U.S. oil production has little effect on gas prices. Statistical analysis of 36 years of monthly inflation-adjusted gasoline prices and domestic oil production shows no direct correlation between drilling and the price motorists pay at the pump. And if more domestic oil drilling worked, as some politicians say, unleaded would cost a little more than $2 per gallon. Instead, the national average is nearly $4, a record high for March.
But we've got to drill offshore, and we've got to drill now. Drill now.
According to the Associated Press, campaign promises to lower gasoline prices, be they Republican claims this election cycle or those of Democrats 4 years ago, simply are not supported by hard data. Sometimes gas prices actually rise as American drilling increases. That's what has happened over the past 3 years. Since February 2009, U.S. oil production has grown 15%. But retail gasoline prices also increased from $2.07 per gallon in February of 2009 to $3.58 per gallon in February of 2012. Domestic oil production peaked at about 9.5 million barrels per day in 1970. Production declined significantly in most of the years since, until about 2008, when new and, by some accounts, controversial methods of drilling called hydraulic fracturing unlocked reserves previously thought to be inaccessible. Today, U.S. oil production is about the same as March of 2003, when gasoline cost about $1.69 per gallon. Adjusted for inflation, that gallon of unleaded would cost $2.10 in 2012 dollars. Yet the current national average price in March is nearly $4 per gallon. And that's because oil is a global commodity, and U.S. production has only a tiny influence on supply. Factors far beyond the control of a Congress or a president dictate the price of gasoline. When you put the inflation-adjusted price of gas on the same chart as U.S. oil production, the numbers sometimes go in the same direction, sometimes in opposite directions. If drilling for more oil always resulted in lower gas prices, the lines on the chart would consistently go in opposite directions. Yet AP's statistical measure of correlation found no link between the two.
Since Barack Obama's inauguration, gas prices have doubled. They didn't go down when Obama bowed to Saudi oil princes.
The AP analysis directly contradicts the title of Newt Gingrich's 2008 book, Drill Here, Drill Now, Pay Less, as well as the campaign trail claims of other Republican candidates. GOP frontrunner Mitt Romney also favors expanded drilling and has called on President Obama to lift restrictions in the Gulf of Mexico, the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, and elsewhere. Yet the late 1980s and 1990s reveal a dramatic disconnect between domestic oil production and gasoline prices. Between 1986 and 1999, domestic oil production plummeted by nearly 1/3, and starting in March of 1986, inflation-adjusted gas prices fell below the $2 per gallon mark and stayed there for most of the rest of the 1980s and 1990s. If the drill now theory was correct, gasoline prices should have soared. Instead, they declined nearly $1. The Associated Press analysis used Energy Department figures for regular unleaded gas prices adjusted for inflation to 2012 dollars. The results were corroborated by public and private statisticians and economists who added that since the U.S. accounts for little more than 10% of global oil production, there's not much America can do on its own to lower gasoline prices.
The reasons that we've got oil at close to $100 a barrel is because of the saber rattling that the Bush administration's been engaging in with respect to Iran. About a third of that cost is really the spot market saying there may be war.
Candidates often lament high gas prices when it's politically convenient. While he was seeking the Oval Office in 2008, then Senator Obama reminded voters that gasoline had more than doubled since George W. Bush took office. But Obama, who has seen gas prices go up 73% since he took office, now acknowledges the price of gas depends on a lot of factors that are often beyond any president's control.
That means we could drill every drop of American oil tomorrow, but we'd still have to buy oil from other countries to make up the difference. We'd still have to depend on other countries to meet our energy needs.
The political party of the president doesn't seem to matter much either. Since 1976, the average monthly gas price, adjusted for inflation during Democratic presidencies, has been $2.25 per gallon. Under Republicans, it's been $2.34 per gallon. Obama has the highest monthly average at $3.05, and Bill Clinton the cheapest at $1.68. And when George W. Bush campaigned in 2000, he argued that as an oil executive, he could get oil prices reduced by working with friends in OPEC to increase supplies. Yet it was during the last few months of Bush's term in 2008 that gasoline prices soared to an all-time inflation-adjusted high of $4.27 per gallon. For Market to Market, I'm John Nichols.